Hey everyone, welcome back to The Simple Creative. I'm your host, Oladimeji Ajegbile, and this is a bit of a special episode because this begins the season 3 of The Simple Creative. Now, you might not know this Simple Creative is broken down into different seasons, but each season is always 10 episodes and one AMA session, which is 10 episodes and one Ask Me Anything session. And there's been 33 episodes, 10 different episodes, making 30 and 3 different AMA sessions. So this is something new. We're starting out now, and I've decided to actually start this on a very clear note. And today we'll be discussing in detail about intentional personal branding. Now, this is something I first shared at Part Pro Ibadan, and it was a really amazing experience getting to talk more about branding, but now being intentional with branding. And I really hope you enjoy this particular episode. So enjoy the episode. Now, no matter what it is you're listening to me from, no matter what you're doing right now, no matter who the kind of person you are or the job you're working at, there are two kinds of people in general, two kinds of people. And the number one is that there are people who use themselves to benefit others. And then the second one is there are people who use others to benefit themselves. Now, understand that these two people fall under one category of people. We all have the same things in us. We are created the same way and we have the same goals, the same visions. Well, not entirely, but we all want to actually aspire to do greater things and actually help others or use others to help ourselves. But then the thing is this, every person falls under both categories. It gets to a point where you use people to benefit yourself, and then it gets to a point where you use others to benefit yourself, or when you use yourself to benefit others. Now, this was something I first learned when I was 10 years old. I was in junior secondary school then, and the school I attended was the kind of school that, in every room, there will be 8 people in a room, and there will be one senior who is like the eldest in the particular room, and then 2 new students. So making that every single room has one person from each class, GSS1 to SS3. And then I happened to be the last person entering that room for the very first time. I was just fresh into the school, and I was trying to get into the hostel where I was given. And I entered and discovered that all the bunk spaces were filled up except one. And that one happened to be the one directly above the senior person in the entire room, which is the room leader. So I was 10 years old, very short. I was trying to get into the room, and I brought in my bed and I was trying to put it on the top bunk. As I was trying to do that, I realized that, everything my sisters had told me about secondary school, that seniors will either do 2 things to you. One, make you their slave, or 2, really make life miserable for you. And that was the idea I carried into school. So getting into that particular room and seeing that senior on his bed, as I greeted him, he just left the room and went out. And I was really scared, like, oh God, what is going to happen today? And then the next thing was I was trying to put my bed on the top bunk of his. And as I was trying to climb the bed, I stepped on his white bed sheet, bedspread, on his white bed sheet. And I started to tell myself that, oh my God, I'm dead today. Like, this is the end for me in this school. My very first day, I've offended the senior. And as I was trying to get up, I fell like 3 times before trying to put my bed up there. And then my parents called from outside and said, Dimeji, it is time for us to go. And I was just crying and telling them, please don't leave me here. I just messed up my entire stay here. Please don't leave me here. But with the way they would have it, they left. And then by the time I was getting back into the room, I realized that the bed that I put up was now placed on the down bunk, and then his own bed, which is the senior's bed, has been placed on top of the bed. And I was wondering what was happening. Little did I realize that he had already seen me fall 3 times, and then he used his own life to benefit mine, by removing my own bed from the top bunk and placing it down where it to be easy for me to actually get up and, access easily. And then that was the very first lesson, that he used his own life to benefit mine. When I was always thinking that, entering secondary school to be all about me, but in the reality of it, it was actually about him making my life better through his, and it was really amazing. And, a couple of years later, about 7 years later, in university now, I learned the exact same message in a different way when I was actually getting to my department, and I saw this quote, on the wall written as, true leadership is serving your gift to the world. And that experience in that secondary school came back again, and this time around it came out fresh because I realized that he was a leader at that point, and he used his leadership position to actually serve me and make my life better. And this is what branding is all about. Now, for every person who is trying to do something remarkable, something extremely new to the world, realize this, that you need to actually serve the world. Now, you might necessarily not have to do this all your life. There'll be times where you need someone to do something for you, but place yourself in a position where you need to serve others and actually get things done. So I'm talking to you about intentional personal branding. Now, that was just a, what's the word now? That was just like an intro to what I'm about to share with you now. Intentional personal branding. Now, branding is something you need to actually be intentional about. I've seen a lot of people who, started things out for themselves and were not intentional about it. And this led to a couple of issues that they were not able to settle over a period of time. Now, first thing is that understand that your personal brand is not about you. Now, I've heard, scenarios or instances where people would say your personal brand is about you or is not about you. Now, I'm not arguing with any of these two. All I'm saying is that your personal brand is not about you talking about yourself all the time. To be honest, when you talk about yourself to people, it's fine. But then your personal brand is actually built from their own perception of who you are. Because the thing is this, whoever they see you to be or whoever you portray to them to be, that is who they accept you to be. And then that eventually becomes your personal brand to them or your reputation to them. Now, as you're getting on this particular topic, as I shared with them during Part Pro, I want you to actually understand a couple of things. And the first is that being a graduate no longer makes you special. Today, we have several graduates walking down the streets, doing all sorts of amazing things, which makes it that if you have a degree and you're a graduate of a particular department or a particular course, or whatever it is, that no longer makes you special because the world has gone beyond that stage and is actually getting into something a little bit more, technical and skillful. People are looking for creative minds, not just in the academics now, but also in the real life. It gets to a point where the things you learned in school no longer, they can't really help you out at some particular point because everything at that particular time now becomes regular. Everybody does it. Imagine this, that you had a master, a BSc, and after having your BSc, you said, let me just go a little step further, and then you did your masters. Now, after doing your masters, you realize that there are a lot of people who have masters and are still unemployed. And then you said, maybe if I go for PhD, maybe by then I'll be taken seriously, and still to discover that there are a lot of doctors who still haven't made it in life. So being a graduate no longer makes you special. And the thing is this, for anything you try to do, you need people who can vouch for who you are. Like, you need people who can stand by you and tell you that, see, this thing you've decided to start today can actually work, and we believe in you to actually make it a reality. Now, a lot of things would happen along the way that would want to shift your focus. But then the thing is this, if you have people supporting you or being able to say something behind you to others that would actually stand as a word of validation for you, then you're good because you already have people who can vouch for you and say, this is who this person is. Now, one more thing is this, that your job owes you nothing. If you're currently employed, you can be fired at any time, and you need to realize what to do next after you get fired. So be able to build something up that would really help you stand in a position where, whether it is you get fired today or tomorrow or whatever it is, or whenever it is, because job security is something that is hard to find today, you should be able to have something you can settle back on for the next 6 months before you can actually get back on your feet. So it's not like you get fired and that's the end of your life. Something that you can actually hold on to, something you can start doing immediately you get fired and will still make you sustain your living without being forced out of your apartment or chased out of your current settlement or whatever it is. You need something else that can actually get you up and running. So your job doesn't owe you anything, which means that prepare your mind for whatever comes up and be able to build up something that can sustain you even when you don't have a job. So the conversation continues, and if you'd like to listen to the full conversation on any of your preferred podcast apps, the links are available in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, that would be really amazing. That would really help me. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you next Wednesday.